disappointed as you were. My heart just cracked a little bit in half. So players are getting ready to come out, so we should build a little bit of atmosphere. Can we get a little bit of noise for Bottisham Village? Can you organise a Bottisham wave? Do you reckon we can do that standing up from this side? And Bottisham wave. Hooray! I think we just broke a world record for world's shortest Mexican wave. That could have gone round the world no times, unfortunately. And we're coming over. It is Stanley Park High School. Woo! What an entrance. Look at your glorious flag flapping in the breeze. Can we do a Stanley Park second wave from you? We're going to stand up on 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's a struggle for the stage. And it's going all the way around the stage. Yeah. Came back. It would have come back. We could have done 2 laps. Well, the teams are lined up and are about to come out. Of course, the match officials. Let's give them a huge round of applause. The referee. Let's give them a huge round of applause.
So good afternoon, and here come the final 2 teams here for what's been a wonderful day of football. And if this match is well, anywhere near what we saw in match number 4 just now, which has just been an absolute classic under 13 schools for girls. This is Bottisham Village College in the Sky Navy outfit up against Stanley Park High School, who are in the navy and white outfit. Bottisham team, and this is a truer starting 11 this time because we're playing on the full pitch. It's Becca Marsh in goal, Amy McLean, Annabelle Cuthbert, Katie Levitt, Amy Forward, Ellen Fuller, Melissa Townsend, Grace Muffet, Francesca Patchett, Elise Rivell and Kelly Haynes. Emma Brereton is the manager for Bottisham. Stanley Park, it's Charlie Bolt in goal, Lydia Sultana number 2, Morgan Searle is captain at number 3, Lacey Quintance number 4, Poppy Boyer Mitchell is 5, Millie Rowland 6, Tia Searle 7, Evie Nebbit is 8, Brooke Fido 9, Hallie Bailey is 10 and Ella Rollings is 11. Rebecca Carter is the manager for Stanley Park. Substitutes: Harriet Loveridge, Rachel Barker, Megan Flaherty and Anna Botham for Bottisham and Stanley Park. Just 2 named players on the bench. Sometimes there's a couple more actually, but they just don't pick it on the sheet. But it's Erin Devitt and Jessica West. Usually number 13 is
Linda Sultana. We have Morgan Sorrell, the captain of the team. This is a cracking name.
so just a coin toss out there at the moment.
Yes, we did it in 1. We have Poppy Boyer Mitchell. We have Millie Rollins in the 6. Number 7 is PSA.
So well, we've had a really great day, very enjoyable indeed, and here we go for the final match. This is the under 15 schools cup for girls, so we jump a couple of years from what we've just seen. So we got having just seen the 12-year-olds, and I think we're on to 40 minutes each way, although we'll find out when we get towards half time. Oh yes, sorry, I do apologise. We do have a sheet. John Scales has brought a sheet from downstairs. This is 40 minutes. So off we go. And Bottisham, who are in the sky blue outfit against the navy blue Stanley Park High School. And well, having seen the 9-a-side football and being absolutely enthralled by it, it feels strange to suddenly see an 11-a-side match on here. It's amazing what you get used to, isn't it?
Well, it does. It just feels like suddenly the pitch has become enormous, which of course it will be for these girls who are under 15, but the transition from 9v9, which we've had all day, to 11 v 11 is significant, isn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely. So here come Bottisham early on. This is Lydia Sultana clearing the ball, but doesn't clear too far. And now Tia Searle looking to break away. That's a nice ball up to Halle Bailey. If you're watching the last match, I went down and, as you know, Olivia McLaughlin, I actually know fairly well, having lived next to her for many years, except for the last couple, and she's okay. She's just always a chip over.
Oh, it's a good ball, isn't it?
Always cleared up
into
nicely.
the space, yeah.
So she's fine. Obviously she's hurt her ankle. She's going to be in pain and probably not play football for a few weeks. But
was that a new injury today?
It was, yeah. She did it early on. And there is a chance now, and here comes Halle Bailey.
And she pulled it wide, dragged it wide.
Halle Bailey there. Well, she made the chance herself, stole the ball. And the first chance of the match.
Yeah, inside 2 minutes. You'll see here, steals the ball, gets away. Bang, hits it, a whisker past that far post. Let's give her, put it down as a sighter. Really should have hit the target.
Good pace here from left back there, just covering up Lydia Sultana. This is always one of our favourite events. This one, we do a lot of sports, virtually every day of the week, every day of the year, you could say, and it's wonderful to. This is one of our favourite events. Looking at Bottisham's rounds to get here, they beat Bury St Edmunds 9-1 in the first round. Old Valley School 15-0 in round 2. In fact, they've been away in every match so far, except for the semi-final. So that was a 140-mile round trip. Round 3 was an 8-0 win against Chantry Academy. In round 4, a 7-1 win against Flegg High School. Round 5, it was another 7-1 win against Bluecoat Academy Trust. And round 6 was a no game, was a walkover. The semi-final, John, 9-7. That was a game,
affair, wasn't it? Yeah.
I'm just thinking, that's one of those on the teleprinter. They actually retype the word out in brackets just to show it wasn't N-I-N-E 7. They do it on both.
Yeah.
takes them 10 seconds longer to type it. 9-7 against Crompton House School. So Bottisham in the pale blue, in the sky blue. They scored 9, 15, 8, 7, 7 and 9. So it's ridiculous. 7 is the worst number of goals they've scored.
Yeah. Probably about 55 for the whole lot, is it?
55? You've just read that.
Oh, I just counted it up.
Well done. So expect to see
over your shoulder.
They've actually travelled 876 miles in this competition.
I mean,
so
it's amazing how far
ridiculous.
some of these teams have travelled in the rounds. I mean, what a competition to get to this stage. I don't think people quite realise, what a season they've had.
Yeah.
I don't think people realise just how amazing the English Schools FA are with the amount of competitions that are on. I mean, I've worked very closely with them for years and years, and it's a huge privilege to work with the English Schools FA. Huge privilege to work with PlayStation. They're a great brand. Who've been involved in grassroots football. I've been involved with them for the last, it's getting on for 15 years, if not more. And this is very, very dear to me. This whole initiative, the PlayStation Schools Cup, the way that I've seen it develop, the investment that they put into it, the genuine joy that everybody at PlayStation gets from this competition, this festival of football over 3 days, but the whole competition over the whole season, the number of participants, the commitment, the clubs, the schools and the teachers, the effort that everybody puts in collectively, and the culmination of the 3 days is just something unique and remarkable, and everybody involved along the way deserves a huge amount of credit for that.
Absolutely. It's I don't know if you hear any of my questions that I asked downstairs, but I did make a mention of to one of the Solihull coaches to say, it is incredible to think that it was only maybe 4 or 5 years ago that an equivalent girls competition would maybe only have 2-3 rounds.
Yeah.
There'd only be a handful of teams playing, and here we are with a 10-round competition with over 1,000 teams. And girls' football has totally expanded incredibly.
And there aren't many countries that can do that to that level, to that extent, in that time. So, you know, a lot of the...
Oh, here's a chance. Here's a chance of Bottisham. Number 5.
Oh, great save.
Aim forward. Well, good save from the goalkeeper. First chance for Bottisham.
Well, Charlie Bolt can be very proud of herself in goal here. What a save. It ricochets clear. Good touch. Second touch good. Under challenge, under pressure. The goalkeeper does brilliantly.
This team has...
That's just pulled to the near post, always going wide.
This team has had some success locally, of course, and this is only their second year of entering ESFA competition, so they did get to the final of the EFL Schools Cup in 2016, played at Wembley, lost in the final there. So this crop of girls have had some chance of the limelight in the sky blue. I like this number 10 here, Hallie Bailey. She's a busy girl.
I like the fact that Bottisham have got the number 9 in the middle in the orange boots.
Here's a chance. Keeper's having to come out and clear. Keeper does exceptionally well there. That was a long way there for Charlie Bolt to come out, and she did well. Just looking at Stanley Park High School's results. Their first round, they beat London Enterprise Academy 10-0. Second round, the Convent of Jesus and Mary Language College. A 5-0 away victory there. In round 3, they beat Dorothy Stringer School 7-0. So 3 clean sheets so far. Then a 3-0 win over Warden Park Academy away. So that's 4 clean sheets. Round 5, another clean sheet against Maidstone Grammar School for Girls. A 9-0 victory there. So we just stop here as Stanley Park attacking down the left-hand side. Here's Tia Searle. Good skills from Searle. Just failed to deliver the cross. So 5 rounds, no goals conceded. In round 6, it was a 4-1 victory. They finally conceded a goal. A 4-1 away victory against King's College Taunton. A 310-mile trip there. That was a round trip, of course, that is. And then in the semi-final, they beat St Ivo. Now, St Ivo have got real pedigree in girls' football.
Yeah, they do. And
a 2-0 victory there with Hallie Bailey and Evie Nebbit scoring. So 40 goals for and 1 goal against in 7 rounds. 6 clean sheets.
Wow. So
good, tight at the back. So we've got Bottisham, who've scored, what was it?
55 goals.
Yeah, they've scored at least 7 goals in every match up against a team that's only conceded 1. So this really is, well, that's a lovely ball through, and here's a chance for Stanley Park. Just overran the ball there. Still fighting hard.
Brooke Fido with that beautiful pass in. Here she is on the ball again, number 9.
Yeah.
Lost possession, but a beautiful ball in to the path. I think it was...
Good ball over the top. Bailey getting on the end of it. Fido scored 11 goals in all matches, Bailey 10. So those are the 2 danger players for Stanley.
Yeah, that's okay.
Shot from distance.
Yeah, I also like the number 9, Francesca Patchett from Bottisham Village School. She's diminutive little figure, but she seems to be reading the game really, really well at the back there for Bottisham. She's going to be a really important figure in this back line.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see some of these battles develop as the match progresses. Good skill here from Brooke Fido. Now down that far side. 2 of the smallest players on the pitch going head-to-head up there. But it's number 3, Morgan Searle, the captain, coming away with the ball for Stanley. That's a good ball over the top. Keeper has to come right to the edge of her box.
Well, that was dangerous because Francesca Patchett had actually left it to the fullback to cover round. Wasn't quite there. There was space for her to get in.
That's a good cross in.
Oh,
Keeper just, it was outside her comfort zone. Ellen Fuller gives the ball away there, but just manages to win back. That ball's not, no, it will go out. This is the cross here that goalkeeper decides to leave, and possibly if the forward would have just made that stretch.
yeah, it was dangerous, wasn't it?
So far, Stanley have they've only conceded 1 goal. So the team in navy, dark blue, have only conceded 1 goal in 7 matches. And here's a chance, headed clear. That's a good header from Kelly Haynes. Shot from the edge. Tia Searle, who's number 3 on the goal scorers list with 7 goals for Stanley.
Yeah, she's got herself in some good positions. That looks to influence the game from that midfield area. Sit in when needed, get forward and support when she can.
The confidence for Stanley, having gone through so many games, only conceded 1 goal in the 7 matches they've played. Like, you know, as you've played at the back a lot, you know, if you're on a run like that, that gives you a hell of a lot of confidence, doesn't it? To know that everybody's on the same page and how everybody's playing with each other. And the stats don't lie at the end of the day. And you can see that this Stanley Park High School team do look good at the back. They look well organised.
They do. Just the 4 of them look like they work together. They just have an inherent understanding where they keep tight. Look how narrow they are, and I like that. You know, when the closer to the goal you get defensively, the narrower you should come. You should let those wide areas be and let the wide players step in, which they're doing.
Yeah.
And so it allows the back 4 to come narrow and protect each other. They're doing it really, really well at the moment.
Lacey Quintance here. Just looking for a little one-on-one. Played forward, good turn from Bailey. Now here's Fido. Fido's happy to shoot, but that is a long way out.
Yeah, she couldn't generate the power needed at all. Never likely to from that far out.
We have been treated to an absolutely superb under-13 girls match. You know, every day there's always one major highlight, and that certainly was it. If you do get the chance, just skim backwards a little bit on that YouTube channel and just take in some of the action there. Absolutely cracking game it was. 15 minutes gone here, 40 minutes each way in this under 15 Schools Cup for Girls final.
There's just a lull, isn't there? Supporters are just moving around the stands. The seats clucking away.
Well, if you are watching this at home or at school, it's too late for school now, after 5 o'clock of course. Do send us your selfies, just send us a tweet, send us a picture, and you use the hashtag Schools Cup Selfie. And we haven't had too many today actually. It's been a bit of a quiet day, but me and John have sent ours.
Yeah, come on everyone.
The ball rolling, and we saw
spread the word.
We saw a couple of tweets from one of the schools who did the incredible double here in matches 2 and 3. Nice play here. Annabelle Cuthbert, number 2, Amy McLean, the captain. Come on, Bottisham. The parents are here.
Yeah, a bit shy, aren't they, of collectively enjoying that moment on the big screen.
They're tense.
Yeah.
Seeing how good Stanley Park are at the back. Here's a bit of pressure from Bottisham. As you say, the defensive unit there looks very strong. It's I'm not going to liken it to the Arsenal team, but they do seem to move across as a unit, and they do cover each other well. He's barely trying to put a bit of pressure on. Crowd getting a bit excitable there. Sometimes, I've seen in some of these schools matches where the crowd cheering actually causes a bit of panic.
Yeah.
And in a normal match, you know, the player would just hand it, but they can hear everybody getting overexcited, and then that causes them to panic a little bit. And you know, and I suppose, you know, you as a player, you know, playing in front of crowds of, you know, big crowds, when you early on in your career, there were times where you could be influenced by a crowd cheering, and you don't know what's going on. You're in an awkward position. And you're like, is somebody about to nick the ball off me? I can hear the crowd going up. And
yeah, it was funny. The bigger the crowd, almost the better. That was the reverse ball, and she tried it. Oh, there was a chance there, wasn't there?
Yeah.
For Lacey Quintains. Yeah, no, I always preferred the bigger the crowd. The smaller the crowd, it's almost like you can hear every word that's sort of shouted. You know, like in a crowd like this, you can hear somebody shout out one comment, and that can affect you. The bigger the crowd, the sort of, I suppose, you're just lost in this sea of noise and sort of white noise, if you like, going on around you. So you can block it out as much, or as feed off it as much as you want.
Yeah.
It's something you get used to.
Yeah.
Really, just something you sort of.
It's a background hum almost.
Yeah, it really is. What becomes aware is the occasion, and you hear the big part of the crowd. Whether, you know, at Liverpool, Liverpool was famous at Anfield for sort of the amazing support there was, and yet there were times when we were struggling. They would go into this sort of lull and this quiet, and it would really make you sort of more nervous than anything, because you just sensed their apprehension, because they're living, breathing the game with you, rather than sort of being one step detached almost to sort of lift you when you most need it. But you're so much apart together. So the different crowds, different clubs, different vibe, you know, with all of them.
And Anfield, of course, they really know their football, so they're reading the game well.
Absolutely.
And they're giving you the message of what you already know is going on out there.
Yeah. Oh, there's a mistake there.
There's an opportunity.
Missed touch. Corner.
Even Ebbit.
Oh, there was a missed chance there, wasn't there?
Yeah, she had half a chance there for sure. One touch, and that one would have been nestling in the back of the net.
That was that missed first clearance, and then the missed opportunity for the good touch. And she'd got the shot away, just nicked off for a corner. So coming up towards the 20-minute mark. Remember, it's 40 minutes this first half.
Oh,
another chance
on the half volley there, and I think it was Nebic yet again. Coming in with a swinging foot, ball's gone wide.
Oh,
here's a chance. This must be a goal. Oh, what a save! What a save! And the referee's going to give a free kick surely for that. He has done, but what a save it was. And the referee, yes, the players are celebrating. The referee. Let's have a look at a replay. Yeah, the referee is definitely given a free kick. There's no doubt about it.
It's got to be a goal, unless it's a brilliant save. Yeah. It's a quite sensational save.
Absolute reflexes. That ball's been hit hard from 6 yards out, and the goalkeeper's got her hands up just in time, and was obviously fouled. And the Stanley players were all celebrating because they misread the referee's signal there. Had his hand up. Here's McLean, the captain, who's making these marauding runs down the right wing. And, interesting, you can hear the crowd getting a little bit behind the match here.
Yeah. Oh, they're loving it.
Yeah, that one certainly perked a few people up. Stanley Park, you can see, you know, they've absolutely snuffed every attack from Bottisham so far, and there you saw that they so nearly had the first goal on the board. 20 minutes gone.
Give Rebecca Marsh huge amount of confidence in goal, won't it, when you stand up and react like that to that save. Great opportunity for Stanley Park to get on the score sheet with the opening goal.
There's Katie Levitt, number 4 for Bottisham. Annabelle Cuthbert, number 3, will take the throw. the moment, these throws, let me just see how many players Stanley have just got in that area. It's 4 against 1 down there. Lacey Quintance. Here's Cuthbert again with the throw. Actually, that was number 7 that time, so that was Melissa Townsend giving it a go and almost.
Good goalkeeping. Almost got in, didn't she? It was just lifted over by Aim Fullwood, for 5 in midfield. Oh, striker, sorry. To this player on the ball, Annabelle Cuthbert. But Charlie Bolt again in goal for Stanley Park, alert to the danger.
Yeah, I like. I've seen Charlie Bolt a couple of times. She's been out there when she's needed to be. She's not one of these that sticks on her line. I do like that about a goalie. That she's happy to see when her defence needs her, and she'll get out there and not be scared. And we saw her come well out of her goal early on. And here's a big run, big sprint into space from Fido, top scorer for Stanley Park. Here's Bailey. Just mishit her pass there, but she's won the ball back. Ball's been given straight to her. Here's Fido. Fido and Bailey. A little bit of interchange. Bailey's looking for support on the left, but she doesn't have any. Played the ball where she'd have liked the player to have been. But Bottisham can't clear their lines at the moment. Here comes Searle. Tia Searle looking. She's got 3 in the box there waiting for the ball. She wins the corner.
Yeah, I think she probably did the right thing there, sort of hitting the ball really hard across the goal. Looking for a ricochet. Nobody really sort of had pulled out into space where you think she could pull it back to. Tia Searle wins the corner for Stanley Park.
6 players in the box for Stanley Park. The corner's well swung deep into the 6-yard box. Ball's still there. A little bit of head tennis. Fido, who took the corner, swings it in, but just miscued that a little bit. At the moment, well, up front there's just 1 forward player for Bottisham and 5 players back for Stanley. So Stanley not committing too many players upfield on their attacks at the moment. Oh, there's our lovely mascot. She's quite happy about that. If you're going to come dressed as a flamingo, then you don't duck out the way, absolutely. Missed control there from Lacey Quintance. Poppy Bauer-Mitchell, number 5. I do like her combination with Morgan Searle. That's a lovely ball. Just didn't fall right there for Stanley Park. There you go, go for it. It's like a couple of teachers there who've come to look after some of the kids who've come along to support.
Yeah.
Kick from Rebecca Marsh in goal for Bottisham. So 15 minutes to go in this first half here. Couple of half chances, 1 big chance to Stanley Park. And Rebecca Marsh pulling off a absolutely cracking save. I think we'll be having our review panel later on potential goals and saves of the tournament so far. And I think day 1's got a few interesting ones. We've certainly seen some really good play both ends of the pitch. Here's an opportunity. Here's Nebbit, and that ball just running away from her, but she got a foot around it, wins a corner. Came off the face of a player in light blue from Bottisham there. Bottisham bench.
She can't keep still, can she?
She's hiding. She's
Always.
shy. How can you
Dancing.
be shy?
I thought she was going to do the, what is it, the floss dance and all sorts going on there.
Oh,
Oh, there's a chance. Yes.
Oh my goodness, it's an own goal. And it's a goal for Stanley.
Well, I think she's going to claim that. I think she had the last touch.
She might claim it.
I think it's Evie Nebbit, is it?
Well, it could be, but I'm pretty sure it came off a Bottisham.
Oh, do you? I thought she had the last touch.
Let's have a look again.
I mean, both of them at the far post got themselves in a bit of a muddle. I thought she just sort of bundled that over. Let's have a look.
Let's have a look. Missed. Oh, I'm not. Yeah, I need to see that slower.
We'll have a look. Yeah, I'm not sure, but
not sure. It came off somebody.
Yeah, she's got to claim that.
Yeah.
I think we've got to give her that. She's the one who's made the effort. Defender couldn't keep it off the. Yeah.
So Evie Bennett, but yeah, the quality of the corner, really high, hanging corner into the back, and Stanley
could have gone on the end of that as well.
Very direct, yeah. They're really pummeling into the box there with these kicks.
Well, they can sit back. Clean sheet. That's all they need now.
Yeah, they've only conceded 1 goal in 7 matches. Yeah, nothing to worry about.
Shut up shop.
It's going to be interesting to see, but
yeah, it is.
Let's have another look. Yeah, here we go.
Go on then.
So this is from behind the goal. So we'll get a new angle of this.
Oh,
let's
that's
have a look.
great camera work there. That's the angle you want. It's an own goal. It's gone in off her.
It's gone in off Nebbit.
But it's been actually hit.
Yeah.
Onto her. Yeah,
Premier League rules panel decides own goal. Oh, actually, no. We'll give it to Harry Kane instead, shall we? He needs the goals.
That's outrageous. Poor Harry. He'll never be able to forget that one.
I know, there's lots of jokes going on around it, isn't there? But yeah, there was no doubt that was an own goal. I actually didn't get the number. I don't know if our director can inform us who it was who actually put it in the back of the goal. But it was certainly, that ball was going to just go across goal and it hit a light blue shin, and that was it.
Yeah.
Went in off Nebbit in the end. Stanley Park ahead 1-0. And here's Bailey, who's a real marauding force here for,
that's good defending.
Stanley.
Really good defending from Francesca Patchett. Patient, very patient defending. Stayed with a person, with a player.
Yeah.
Just shepherded her out wide.
Well, I'm told in my ear that we think it was the number 8, Grace Muffet, who actually the ball came off. But a little bit unsure. There is Grace Muffet actually, battling away with Fido. And Fido fouls Muffet. He's not looking too impressed with that decision. There's the coaching bench for Stanley Park. Stanley Park are based...
They look less fidgety than the other bench, don't they?
Yeah. Stanley Park based in Sutton and Bottisham based in Cambridge.
Sutton in...
It's got to be Sutton down London way, isn't it?
My way, is that Wimbledon?
Yeah, it's got to be your
Sutton?
way. Yeah, can't be Sutton Coldfield.
No, that's what I was wondering.
That'd have been Birmingham, wouldn't it? I don't think there's a Sutton FA anyway.
No.
There's a very nice park there. Just quietens down a little bit here. As Stanley, well, as you say, you can take the time a little bit.
Well, they can. I mean, look, half an hour mark comes up. Still 10 minutes in this half to go. 40 minutes second half, 50 minutes of the game. It's still a long, long way to go.
Yeah.
Tiredness, fitness is going to count. Maybe injuries. Maybe the bench, the strength of the bench, how they can bring players on with confidence that can influence the game. You know, these are all the things that those coaches are going to be thinking about. Getting to half time in 10 minutes. full roster of players fit and available still. Fascinating to see how the players react to different circumstances on the pitch.
Well, a fascinating match in many ways. The fact that Bottisham have scored absolutely freely in all their matches so far, and yet they're being withheld. But here's an opportunity, and here's Bolt again. Superb goalkeeping. She realised the defence was in trouble, and again she cleared up.
Well, she did. She would have been saved by the flag. He had raised the flag. There's Francesca getting across at the back there, neat and tidy. It's really these positions in midfield. You feel that Bottisham have got to make more use of the ball and have this link between the back and the front a little bit tidier. Just give the ball away a little bit too cheaply. You just feel at the moment Stanley Park have got the fluidity and the link between each part of the team from the back, whether it's the midfield, whether it's the forwards. There's a connectivity between them which is missing with Bottisham.
There's Muffet. Sorry, Nebbit there for Stanley Park. It's a lovely
nice
ball played in for Fido. Top scorer for Stanley. Fido wins the corner.
Yeah, it was Lacey Quintains, not for the first time, intelligently just pushing that ball into the channel. In for Brooke Fido.
Corners brought in along the ground this time, very different from the previous corner that we saw the goal from. And no real pressure on the ball either there. A little bit slow to get out there towards Fido. Tried the same corner again this time. Millie Rowland looking to get on the end of it. Now the breakaway for Bottisham. Still plenty of players back. She's onside here. The keeper's going to come out as well. Bolt's in trouble.
Oh dear.
And is that a foul?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the fact the ball had gone, and I think the referee is saying get up, or is he going to talk to the goalkeeper? Has he called the free kick?
Oh, it's going to be a yellow card.
We haven't seen a. Well, it looks like he's going to get the book out, so I presume he has given the free kick.
Oh yeah.
The question is,
it's going to be a yellow card. I mean, it's
at least a yellow.
Can't be a red. I mean, it's sort of legitimate challenge for the ball. She missed the ball. That's the sort of way she plays, so you know that it's a genuine attempt to get the ball. A big smile of relief. But it was nothing worse than a red card.
Yeah.
But the defenders were getting back, so on a technicality as well, I think there were players coming back. Maybe the replay might show that
was she the last
stopped a clear goal-scoring opportunity, but I think she made a fair and effort of the ball, not the highest possible level. That would matter, I suppose, would it?
Let's see what happens here. Free kick taken from distance, hits the underside of the bar. Oh. Well, what a shot that was from long distance. Goalkeeper's not the tallest out there, and certainly was struggling to get up for that.
Gosh.
We nearly had the equaliser.
Is that Melissa Townsend?
Oh, so close. And then the follow-up, and actually she missed the ball. So there was an actual major chance on the follow-up, and I think she just took her eye off the ball as the keeper was coming out.
Was it Amy McLean, I think, with a shot, was it? Taking the corner here.
Did
she take the free kick?
Flicked in at the near. And now Stanley looked to counter.
Yeah, offside. Okay. I mean, Charlie Bolt plays on the edge, doesn't she? She's a sweeper.
Yeah.
You know, they push up, they play high. They're a really good unit, and quite clearly her role is to come out. Here's a replay.
This is it from behind.
It is Amy McLean. I mean, goalkeeper's got no chance. 'cause it struck so well. And there it is, Annabelle Cuthbert with the follow-up. Misses the ball completely, and they should be back on level terms.
Yeah, I think Annabelle Cuthbert might watch that video again and sort of regret not having got a foot on the ball, because she obviously was put off by the keeper bearing down on her. Bottisham nearly equalising. And, well, two major moments there, wasn't there? Goalkeeper getting a yellow card. Could it have been a red? And then the actual free kick from that. And here comes Nebbit. And cleared. And here's Cuthbert. Two different coloured shoes, always nice to see. And, well, Bottisham playing a really high line, right on the halfway line, which is already put a little bit of danger. And Bolt's got to be careful. She's going to come out again. She's got to bear in mind she already has a yellow card. Fido. Out to Quaintance. Bailey back to Quaintance. Cleared away. Forward. Feel the match is just starting to open up a little bit. Here comes Cuthbert. Cuthbert's off on a run. Being chased down. Pacey Millie Rowland, who then takes one in the face from her own player, but just to keep her composure. And now here comes Stanley Park on the counter. There's a call to play that one down the line, but she decides to come inside. And to be honest, she may have looked at the referee and passed that ball to the referee then. He's wearing quite a dark outfit. There was not a player anywhere near there. The only person with a dark outfit on was the referee.
Yeah. Keep thinking. I was going to say the referee looks like he's playing in sunglasses, but maybe, he's not. I'm sure he's not.
He's just got very big eyebrows.
Dark eyebrows. I didn't want. That's why I was thinking, do I bring attention to that? Because obviously he's not. But
yeah. The Dennis Healy of the refereeing world.
Listen, mistakes can be made from what 100 yards away up here in the goal. So
I wouldn't mind a close-up of that referee.
Don't draw attention, because now I feel dreadful.
Let's have the eyebrow meter.
Stop it, please. Oh dear. Back to the game, please.
I see what you mean, though, John.
No,
it does look like
please.
he's wearing sunglasses. So, not long to go here. A couple of minutes on the clock. I see the referee just has looked at it. He's wearing sunglasses.
Oh, he is, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
More people should have that look. It rocks. Yeah. I'm wearing exactly the same sunglasses.
You are, aren't you?
But it's because I've got my prescription glasses on and I can actually see really well onto the pitch with them. So I'm not trying to make any Roy Orbison type statements or anything like that. So he is quite a cool dude after all.
Oh, yeah. Well, you are the trendsetter of the moment, aren't you?
Here we go.
That's good pace. She's done well.
Clean.
Just couldn't get her foot wrapped around it, could she? Too close to the goalkeeper, Charlie Bolt.
And you know, you can see why they've conceded so few goals, because even though they're getting half opportunities, they still have to produce a great ball to make a chance. Yeah. They're covering the angles so well. The shape of them.
And I'll tell you what else, I mean, they are just so well organised, the back four. It's not true. For this age group to have such discipline in their shape is a true testament to the coaching, but also to the intelligence of the four girls to be able to coordinate the way they play that. Yeah. They've got pace around. They're all quite similar in stature. No one's huge, no one's tiny. Good pace.
Oh, here's an opportunity. Bolt's having to come out again.
And they can rely on Bolt to come out, and so they can keep confidence in their line. Yeah. And it's amazing how important the goalkeeper is within that unit. You talk about a back four, how good they are and whatever. Earlier in the day you were talking about goalkeepers. For a centre-half, if you've got somebody who is consistent and comes off their line, amazing. Yeah. And shouts and has clarity and is assertive and everything else. And it's similar here, that Bolt starts it all to give the confidence to the other four of them. And very good.
Well, there's half-time. So our referee is blown, Mr. Stuart McKenzie. And a fascinating match out here. And a team that has scored 55 goals in their 7 rounds. In fact, actually 55 in 6 matches, because one round was ruled a non-match due to an ineligible player. So 55 goals in 6 matches, which is well, it's 5 and well, it's a lot. It's a lot of goals, nearly 10 goals a match. And here they are. They've been shut out by a team that's only conceded 1 goal in their 7 matches. Stanley Park High School lead by 1-0. And let's have a quick look at that goal. Thank you very much. And yes, it was this corner. It was number 6 actually, wasn't it?
Oh, she knows as well, doesn't she? Ellen Fuller. She knows that she tried to. She couldn't do anything about it. I mean, she has to try and get a foot on it and get a clearance. I mean, you could possibly say that she could have sort of let it run, but impossible to make that call in the moment. You've got an attacker coming in there, and you're sort of going to make the challenge. I can understand why she could have let it go. That's why she's put her head in her hands. Oh, the disappointment. Here's the shot. Was Amy McLean, was it the captain, the number 2, steps up and what a strike that is. Bounces back off again. You think surely it's the equaliser, the follow-up. The keeper does well, puts her off, I suppose, and can't hit the rebound.
Quite a bit of swerve on this ball, which I think really caught the goalkeeper out. But you know, hats off to the goalkeeper again. Yeah, the keeper was out. Like, you know, she was
very quick, wasn't she, to react?
Yeah, she was out there very quickly, and that was the thing that really put Amy Cuthbert off. Sorry, Annabelle Cuthbert. So the half-time score here. We're just going to have a quick break. We'll be back for the second half. Do send your selfies. Do remember there are DVDs for sale on the 24/7 shop. We'll possibly put that screen up shortly. We're going to take a quick break here. Back for the second half.
for the official to make the decision and really to start the second half, which of course is the last game of the day.
So welcome back. Beautiful wide shot there of Medeski Stadium. That's a super shot, that is. And we're getting ready for the second half. So a real interesting battle between two teams here. We've got Stanley, who've only conceded 1 goal in their 7 matches. We've got Bottisham, who've scored nearly, on average, 10 goals a match, not just over 9. And so we really do have what's the phrase? Something force against the immovable object. Whatever. Irresistible force against the immovable object. This is it, and it's all about the Stanley Park defence. Can they keep another clean sheet for the second half? John Scales.
Well, judging on the first half, I see no reason why not. But a lot is going to depend on how Bottisham can take this game to them.
Grace Muffet there. Lovely green, beautifully green boots. Ella Rowlings. Ball just going out of play.
Yeah, just looking at Bottisham, I think they've got to really press forward. They've got to live on the shoulder of this back four. They've got to ask questions. If they play in front of them and just come short, it's going to be too easy for them. That's Stanley Park to defend. They've got to get behind them.
Played into space. And Bailey's going to chase this one down. It's great work from Bailey here. Just loses the footing at probably the worst time.
Yeah, should have been a free kick. It is a bit late, the referee, but a lunge in, wasn't it? Luckily she didn't catch the ankle.
He was looking for an advantage and saw there was none there, so just blew it. So. Yeah, Bailey put in a lot of work running that half the width of the pitch to get across there, and then just slipped over right at the very end. Bottisham are not able to really clear their lines at all very much. Of course, it is quite a big pitch out there, so as the Bottisham bench, all looking at themselves on the big screen, trying not to crack a smile. Ellen Fuller. Good play from Amy Fullwood. On to Annabelle Cuthbert, who looks as if she's changed her boots. Yeah, there's definitely some footwear changing going on. Because Cuthbert certainly had an orange one boot and a green the other. And now there's players. She's obviously been borrowing boots because now there's a player out there with all green and a player with all orange, and she's gone back to all black. So,
oh my gosh, it's very observant of you.
Well, quite often I look at the colour of the boots, and that helps me identify the player. So I'm totally lost now. What's going on? Yeah. So I've got to work out who's wearing the green and who's wearing the orange. Just helps on commentary sometimes, instead of looking at the sheet constantly. So Millie Rowland there in the dark orange boots. I could almost say red. She kicks the ball out. Yeah, there's been a little bit of a changing around in the bootwear front in the changing room. Maybe that's why it took them so long to come out. There's Rowland getting stuck in, but again Bailey, who's been very impressive.
Yeah, she's done really, really well.
She's put herself about a bit up front. She's sort of Kerry Dixon mould of centre forward, isn't it?
Huh.
There's a name from the past.
Gosh, yeah, I played against. Well, no, what am I doing? No, I never played against him. I heard about him back in the day.
God, I played against him once in a Sunday Middlesex Senior Cup final, and he elbowed me, and I felt really privileged that Kerry Dixon actually felt
he's elbowed me as well. So there you go, both of us.
Yeah. He's probably elbowed everybody he's ever played against.
Of course he has.
Actually, we're not in any good company.
Half the audience are googling who the heck they're
who's Kerry Dixon? Well, I'll tell you what, one player I played against when I was a teenager, I remember he hit a shot past me, and you'll remember this from your youth, Tony Curry.
Tony Curry.
What a shot he had. And I remember he hit a shot, he was only a friendly in somewhere in the North Yorkshire village, and and he hit a shot past me, and it gone past me before I realised he'd actually hit it. It was almost like when you face those ball machines.
Yeah.
And you know, for fun as a goalie, you actually go, put it on the maximum, and let's see how hard it is. And it goes past you so fast. That felt like Tony Curry, who was a bit of a legend up in Yorkshire area, in Leeds United and Sheffield United.
And now Bottisham in control.
But then you faced Ronaldinho, and that must have been.
Oh, that was a chance, and it's still on. Maybe just to release that ball out wide. Didn't get the chance.
Yeah.
Yes, played against Ronaldo.
Ronaldo, sorry.
Ronaldo in '95 at Wembley.
Yeah. That was the Umbro Cup, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just the
precursor to Euro '96.
Yeah.
And then played in the Tournoi out in France, and that was the precursor to France '98.
Yeah, it was a fun time for you to be around in the
It was a
Premier
good
League,
time.
wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was. Really.
Gascoigne was at his pomp, and
Yeah, great time to be playing.
and it was really when Premier League really sort of, you set the founding stones for what the Premier League is now, really.
It's when the game changed. That through the '90s, there it was a really great time to be playing football.
Yeah. Yes. We all remember the Alive and Kicking promo videos and all that stuff. Yes, our director, I don't think he was born back then, but
Oh, that's a great burst of energy.
Tia Searle.
Yeah, she's been really excellent, hasn't she?
It's good work. Here's Bailey. Bailey's looking for an opportunity, but fast feet there. And Francesca Pratchett,
Again.
said earlier.
Yeah. I love the way she reads the game.
Stanley Park putting a bit of pressure on the Bottisham team here.
Yeah, they are. They're going for the jugular, the second goal, aren't they, you feel? They feel like they need it. They probably do. They're in control of the game. So I think there'll be satisfaction on the bench of Stanley Park that the game is theirs to lose at the moment. I don't want to throw caution to the wind completely, looking for a second goal, but I still feel that they need it.
At the moment, Bottisham are struggling to get any possession in the Stanley half. It really has been great play from Stanley. Here's Bailey. Keeper's out to cover that one well. It's great to see how girls' football has really developed, and these are school teams. These aren't county teams or regional teams. This is actually a single school, or two single schools, of course. And Stanley again. Here's Fido. She's just dropped back a little bit. She's pretty much out and out up front, top scorer.
Yeah.
But looks like she's dropped back into midfield to do a little bit of work there. So some sort of tactical change, and maybe that's a neat little move here from the Stanley Park coaching setup. So they certainly have dominated. And here she is again, Fido. She might well have a pop here. She is a goal scorer. Yeah. And she didn't need a second invite there, did she?
I mean, it's got so far to go, girls' football, because I'm not a complete expert on sort of 4, 5, 6, 7-year-olds playing football, girls. What I do know is there's probably more opportunities in other areas of traditional girls stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not until they get to sort of 8, 9, 10 they start to even have a possibility of playing football.
Yeah.
A few will be at the local academies, club camps and things like that. When you start kicking a ball when you're very young, it becomes just a totally natural habit. It's got a long way to go, and get better and better and better. But you think of the strides that it's made in the last just 3 or 4 years, even.
Yeah.
The quality I'm seeing here just says it's come miles already. Again, shifted to another level.
Absolutely. And it's a joy to see for sure. As Bottisham have just don't seem to have enough players up front, do they? You're just looking, there's a chance here, but some of the midfield players for Bottisham are just holding back a little bit. You can see here there's 6 players for Bottisham and only 1 player for Stanley. And they're going to have to start pushing a few more players further up to create that pressure. They're almost playing with a little bit of fear, you feel. And here's Bailey again, and she's got no fear at all. Trigger being pulled by...
It's completely false economy. It's false safety, if you want to call it that. You have all those players behind the ball, and actually what you're doing is making it much harder for yourselves. You're on the defence the whole time because the midfield is totally overrun.
Yeah.
You're not getting players forward, so you're not having the opportunities in the opposition box. They don't need to panic. They can mark players 2v1 or just have the depth. So until you just, in a sense, and we've seen it before, throw caution to the wind and change the numbers.
Good ball from McLean.
Unless, of course, you get the breakaway as possible here. But look, she gets swamped.
No support as well. There's only McLean.
And players can go over there with confidence and get 2, 3 of them on her.
Sorry, John. You can see on the camera here that players are only just coming to the shot, so there was only McLean and Cuthbert actually up there trying to do something, and everybody else had stayed in their own half sort of watching. So totally agree, John. There's a... Here they go again, they're looking for the breakthrough. The number system's totally upside down here. You've got the number 2 and 3 playing up front for Bottisham, and the number 5 is sort of an attacking midfield. At least they're wearing 1 to 11, I suppose. It's we covered one final and we had a 97, a 64, so it was almost like watching NFL. Throw again, Stanley so good at the back. You can see why they've had all these clean sheets, because they're just not giving anything. Bailey getting stuck in there. The referee might have a word. That's always going to be a dangerous tackle there on the number 9, Francesca Patchets, excuse me. There's a player down at the moment with cramp just up in the top of the pitch.
She's done very well. You know, she just bounces up, gets on with it. It's a tough little thing.
Yeah.
Tiny little figure. Reads the game really well, gets stuck in. I think, you know, her concentration, her attention to the game has been phenomenal at the back there. I really enjoyed watching her play. It's, you know, she's been up against Halle Bailey, who really has sort of pushed her every step of the way, hasn't she, physically?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, she's a no-nonsense player, is she? She's really...
It's a good battle.
Referee's authorised a water break here, so I think he's just seen that so many players... In fact, Halle Bailey's just given the referee a bit of grief and saying, I want to play on, I don't want a water break.
No, that's sensible.
But,
it's funny, we went through that phase, didn't we, where we had the rain, where it sort of went cold, and
yeah,
it's got much nicer and warm. It's a lovely evening. Oh, there you go. He's giving the referee
even
something.
the referee wants a little drink. Fair enough. Gives a penalty.
Not trying to influence the game, yeah, exactly.
did a match last Tuesday, and in fact it was on TV. It was a little corporate job, but it was at Anfield. John Barnes was one manager, Jamie Carragher was the other. We had Phil Thompson in on the commentary box with Rob Palmer, who does the La Liga.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was hilarious. They were one stage. Phil Thompson was like, I thought I was watching a slow motion, and I just realised the players are actually that slow on the pitch. But there was an absolute stonewall penalty that the referee didn't give. He was trying to keep in keeping with the spirit of the game. John Barnes ran onto the pitch and gave him a fiver. And then 5 minutes later, you could hear him shouting, "I want my fiver back," because the referee didn't give a decision the other end. It was very funny indeed.
Yeah, they're great, those occasions.
Yeah, yeah, just lots of fun.
Yeah.
And yes, there was a player who came on who'd not played for 35 years.
Wow. Wow.
And he put on a few pounds, you could say. But good occasion, nice atmosphere. And
well, they're playing more and more of those games, especially the Liverpool past players.
Yeah. Have you put the boots on recently, John, for anything?
No.
Legs won't take it.
No, I'm worried my calves would give up. They keep vulnerable, let's put it that way.
Yeah. It's a lovely
It's
ball.
a great ball inside the fullback.
Evie Nebbit
Yeah.
had a hand on the goal.
Well, she'll settle for the corner.
Yeah. Well, Bottisham certainly something. This change around in the second half with Fido going back into midfield has definitely made a difference. And Bailey's, Bailey is the sole attacking force now on her own, but she's handling it. She's actually holding her own very well. And Stanley Park. Yeah, you see a lovely view here from one of our cameras from behind. Corner swings in, keeper very well taken.
Well, I hope they're saving themselves for a final charge. 25 minutes to go.
That's cute.
Still time. I thought it was 2-0. Of course, it's 1-0, isn't it?
Yep.
So they're
still only one in it. So
right in this game.
Here's Millie Rowland with the throw. Down to Bailey. Bailey inside, that's good play. Here's Nebbit. Strange to see Fido again just hanging around in central midfield. She's not pushing up too much. She's been given a job to do. Complete miscue there from Millie Rowland.
Yep.
So the sun is back out. We've had all conditions here, but not on the pitch, but there's a little bit of sunshine in the air. Quite nice clouds ahead of us.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely
we've
had some wonderful weather this weekend, and it's Bailey again. He's certainly putting in a lot of work. Putting in the hard yards is Bailey. Here's Rowland.
Well, they haven't been far apart, have they? Those two.
Forward
Francesca
away.
Patchett and Ali Bailey. Right, they've got to move this ball, use it better, push the players up the pitch. It's really now's the time. They've got 3v1 at the back in the middle. I mean, it's not the best lesson in sort of a shape of a football team. There you go.
Lovely touch there.
They're looking for these
McLean.
moments.
But there's only Cuthbert up with McLean. There's nobody else supporting. And it ends up being 2 against 5, and we've got the same problem again, John, haven't we?
And it really isn't the way.
Here's the view. Oh, there you go. Lovely clouds, and there's one of the new turbines that's out there.
Yeah, lovely evening.
Stanley Park looking for Bailey on her own at the moment. Got to be some stage where got to feel that we'll see a few players pushed up here from Bottisham, because at the moment you just can't see them scoring. Bailey does really well there. She wasn't second favourite for that ball. That's a great ball in. Keeper intercepts. Rebecca Marsh been pretty busy in that goal. Bottisham. And well, Bottisham got a third player coming forward here. Katie Levitt just joining Eva too. I don't know if there's an instruction come from the coaching staff. They realise that they need to get some help up to the forward line. And collision there. Alan Fuller going down quite heavily. And Stanley Park won the free kick. Looks like Katie Levitt's been asked to move forward a little bit more on the right. I think the coach and staff have realised that they're not really showing a threat even when they are getting forward with the ball.
But it is amazing how it's just something as fundamental as not a shift of a position when it's in this situation, but a fundamental shift. Oh, that's a high challenge, was it? a fundamental shift in just the positions on the pitch that we're talking about. They've got to take the whole game 30 metres, 30 yards forward.
Yeah.
We're not talking about squeezing up some space here or squeezing space there. Just shift the whole thing up.
Difference
there, they dropped off.
You see that Stanley Park are moving together as a unit, aren't they? That's an interesting ball. Keeper's going to have to deal with this, and keeper does really well.
Yeah.
Rebecca Marsh, that was an awkward bouncer, and she did really well there.
Yeah, I want to shout down to Bottisham. Get up the pitch.
Yeah.
Move up.
And no challenge at all there. It's almost like some of the Bottisham girls have just sort of got that defensive mindset at the moment and just waiting for the next wave.
Well, as I said, it's false security, isn't it?
Nice ball there for Bailey. Bailey just holds the ball up. She knows what she's doing. She's just waiting for a little bit of support. 20 minutes to go. It's under 15. Schools Cup final for girls. Bottisham in the sky blue score 55 goals in 6 matches.
Change the goalkeeper, aren't they?
Yep. Looks like we're going to have a goalkeeper change. Number 13 is coming on. So Rachel Barker enters the fray, and Rebecca Marsh, who's had a great game. She can't really have done anything about the goal. She's off. So nice to see. The reserve goalkeeper's getting an outing here. I think that's first change made in this match, actually. So I don't think there's been any other substitutions at all. Of course, it's not rolling subs, this one. This is a more traditional format. Amy Fullwood heading it forward. Missed control there from Ellen Fuller. Now the break from Stanley Park. Space on the right. Here's Nebbit. Bailey's in the middle looking for the ball. Two in the box, waiting for the cross in.
Yeah, she tried to wrap her foot round to get the ball in, didn't she?
And a fair crowd here. Supporters.
Ruby Nebbit just trying to get in there, just feeling her side.
Go Lacey. Lacey Quaintance. There she go. Well, Bottisham need to try and do something a little bit different here. They need to change the game. It's very noticeable that in the previous game when Olivia McLaughlin actually got injured, she went up front and she was far more dangerous, even injured. And we saw obviously the goal, and then we nearly had a second goal. And interesting if, you know, with hindsight, if she'd maybe been a little bit up front a little bit earlier, would there have been a different scoreline? We'll never know, of course. That's what makes football so amazing. You can discuss these what ifs and maybes forever. There's a corner given away. Looks like Hallie Bailey's going to take it. She's not in a great rush. She's obviously in this time mode now. She realises we're in the last 20 minutes. Time is on their side, but it's only one goal. They'd really rather get a second one underway and a little bit of distance between them and their opponents. It's flicked on at the near post. There's Fido with the free header. Cleared away by Pratchett. And now here comes Amy Fullwood, who's stretching the legs there and giving it moving away with a bit of pace. Not getting a lot of support, was she? Amy McLean just getting a little bit tied up. They sort of ended up crossing each other.
Yeah. But again, not enough options for her. Not enough pressure on Stanley Park. They're able to get 6 players back in that half when she was breaking in there, which is, I mean, just a huge testament to how they're set up.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, looking at this game, in a way, there's no wonder they've got such a phenomenal defensive record this year.
Yeah. That's a great ball over the top. Bailey gets hold of it, but Pratchett does very well. Nebbit. Actually, that was Fido moving up front. And that's the difference, isn't it? The Stanley Park team get the ball up front. There's a danger. They're hunting for goals. It goes the other side, and the players are looking around for support, and there's no support there.
You know what? I think this is much about just the physical superiority of Stanley Park. That's slightly a bit quicker, a little bit bigger. It's quite a small team, if you like, Bottisham. Skillful. It's got quality in there. But it hasn't got that sort of potent weapon, I suppose, that Stanley Park possess.
Yeah.
Not quite on the same level. And I think the gap at 11-a-side game on this size pitch, in these circumstances, I think that gulf in the two teams appears bigger than it really is.
Yeah. Muffet switches that across to McLean. McLean, the captain, plays it out wide. This is where Bottisham need to get players up and supporting. Fuller.
Touch nearly.
Forward, sorry.
There you go. Now, push up, everybody else, push up.
So.
Go on.
willing Bottisham to push onwards. Now here comes Fido into a little bit of space in midfield. Bottisham got plenty of players back though. It's still 5 against 2.
That's a good dummy.
It certainly sold Pratchett a dummy. That ball's going to stay in as well.
I think Tia Searle's down with cramp down in her half.
Referee says play on.
Put the ball out. Not there though. Put it out a bit further up the pitch.
Yeah, I don't think they've
she's
realised.
Up, Tia Searle. She's hopping back in.
A bit of confusion there. Shall I put the ball out or not? Because she's now up. So no.
Well, that was good. She got up.
Nice play inside.
Okay.
And a corner.
Yeah.
So now maybe this will be the invitation for Bottisham to push some players up, and Searle's down again.
Yeah, she just needs a bit of attention. I hope it's a little bit of cramp, not a twist. She looked at her ankle when she went down, but I'm hoping it's cramp. The way he's holding her foot. Yeah, absolutely says it's nothing serious at all. Painful, but not serious.
TSL's just staying down. It looks like it's just cramp.
Yeah, I'm sure she's fine. Now, Bottisham, they've got to get in a huddle. They've got to get on the edge of the box, have a conversation, say that there's 13 minutes left. Look, girls, what are we going to do here? They're all standing around. And I would suggest that they get together and get each other fired up.
Yeah.
Find something, tap into something that gives them that sort of, come on girls, we've got to gamble more, we've got to push more from the back. Maybe keep 3 at the back instead of 5. Push into these areas where we...
Yeah. And is this the reason why you see most captains being centre halves and people at the back who see it? Because we've got Amy McLean who's busting a gut up front on her own with Cuthbert. That's a good take by the goalkeeper.
That's a great take. I think she's been outstanding.
She's been there whenever there's been any trouble. She's been the one and she's taken a yellow card for it as well. But do you think, John, that Amy McLean is up front busting a gut on her own? She's probably quite tired out there.
Yeah.
Whereas like a defender, you're reading the game ahead of you, and quite often you do see a defender or defensive midfielder as the captain, because you're sort of seeing the game ahead of you, and that's the moment to pull everybody in. Whereas Amy McLean's possibly just trying to get any breath she can, because she's running all over the place, 4 against 2 all the time.
Yeah, I tend to think traditionally, or most of the time, here's a chance.
Here is McLean.
Oh, again, chance for her.
Great play from McLean, that was. Lovely skills. And that was an opportunity there.
It was, because she'd beaten the keeper. In these goals, that far out, and you make contact like that, if you hit the target in the corners, you've scored. Just dragged it wide. Yes, I would think, players that see everything in front of them, I think it's hard for strikers sometimes.
Yeah.
Because they're often playing with their back to goal. They're often I suppose more importantly thinking about their game and just their game and the pressure they're under to find space and whatever, whereas a defender, maybe a holding midfielder, has that ability to see things in a different context better.
Yeah. It's good play down the outside. Lydia Sultana on the overlap. Bailey in. Here's Nebbit. Nebbit has a shot. Is it going to go? It's in. And this one is a goal for Evie Nebbit. She had a half hand on the first one, but there's no doubt number 2 is well and truly her goal. And Stanley Park, with 10 minutes to go 2-0 up. Here's Sultana down the left hand. That's a lovely cross in just above Bailey. And Nebbit's in at the back post and side foots. Keeper slightly fumbles. And in the end, Patchett could not keep the ball out.
Oh, I feel desperately sorry for Annabelle Cuthbert. There's Rachel Barker in goal. It's one of those moments where it sort of bundles through. It's a great effort again, isn't it? Amy McLean, is it bursting forward again?
That was a good shot on goal there for Bottisham, but they need to score quickly now. 2 goals behind, 10 minutes to go. Here's Melissa Townsend. Gives it out to the opposite number 7, Tia Searle. To Fido. Fido looks to unleash one there from the edge of the box, but slight miss hit. And now Amy Fullwood starts coming away. She's starting to come into her own in this match, but she's given a bad ball away there and she's cross with herself. Fullwood again. Good play from Fullwood. She's starting to get more and more into this match. Sultana, number 2 for Stanley Park, clears it out and will concede the throw-in. Just look at this. This is the goal again from behind, over the top of Bailey. But yes, I think the goal. I think it was the defender that sort of half put the goalie off.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah,
should have been saved, shouldn't it?
Number 12 is coming on. Harriet Loveridge. Is coming on, sorry. And coming off. Little high five. Number 11 there, Kelly Haynes. Well, John, we're getting to that stage where you go into yourself for a few minutes and start to...
Do I? Yeah.
And we are going to be asking for a player of the match shortly.
It's a difficult one.
It certainly is, yeah. It's a play from Sultana. This defensive unit for Stanley Park haven't cracked once, and whenever they have looked a little bit exposed and they've let a ball through, we've seen Charlie Bolt at the back clearing up everything. And very
I'd sort of like to give it to the back 4. Can I do that? Can I sort of give it to a back 4 unit that they can
give them a PS1 each.
Give. You're gonna have to have a careful rotor. 1 day on, 1 day off.
Yeah.
Sorry, 1 day on, 3 days off. Back again.
It is a difficult one, isn't it? I wouldn't like to be in your shoes on this one. You know, it's going to be a lot of girls tucking into their bed tonight. Thinking, I can't believe you didn't give me the man of the match for that performance. As you say, it is the defensive unit that's been really astounding in this. It's almost cruel, isn't it, to sort of try and highlight, pick a defender.
You know, it's difficult to pick one of them out the back.
Yeah.
And it's also, you've talked about the journey here. Sometimes it is about the player of the match. That's the whole point. The match here today. That's who we're looking at, who we're picking, and that's who I will pick it on. But sometimes you almost feel there's a justification for the fact that they've conceded 1 goal throughout their route here, and and I suppose it's tribute enough that we've mentioned that they've so far kept a clean sheet again.
Yeah.
Really is remarkable. And up front, you know, got to say, Halle Bailey I think has been brilliant. Fido's been great. Evie Nebbit, the second goal. It's very difficult. Okay.
It is a difficult one. I think, and you know, at the end of the day, there's so many good performances out there, but a difficult one. I want to be in your shoes, John, for this call. Shot from the back. That's Grace Muffet.
Amazing work. The strikers here for Stanley Park, so strong as I can see. Just ruthless play, look at that.
Oh, that's a good ball. I mean,
well, here we go, John. 4 minutes to go.
My man of the match, player of the match is Charlie Bolt there in goal. I think Charlie's done brilliantly. I think she's just covered everything fantastically well. What me? PS4? Hey, what? Yeah. I love that reaction.
She had her hair done for the final.
Yeah, she's
ready.
I mean, she was magnificent the first half. She's been great the second half. She's pulled off saves whenever she's been called upon.
Barely unlucky there.
Halle Bailey was just reminding me that she's had a great game and saying, hang on a second.
Yeah.
What about me up front? No, she's been brilliant. She's really run herself into the ground, put an amazing shift in. But one of the reasons why I've chosen Charlie Bolt in goal. Just see this attack. They deserve a goal. Look at the back four. Oh, look at them again.
Great.
Three of them there, working together, determined to keep a clean sheet. It's like such a mature performance from this defensive unit, and I include Charlie in that because without her ability at the back, without her coming off the line, I know she got booked in the first half, but that was just just because of the way she plays. She runs that risk, if you like. She mistimed her challenge. There was nothing, you know, malicious about her challenge. It was just mistimed. Deserved a booking, and that was it. But she gives that back four so much confidence in the way that she plays off the line.
Dangerous ball in. Oh, save from Bolt. Well, John, I think that just cements your decision there.
Quite a relief that she saved that.
Yes, it's always difficult giving a man of the match before the end of the game.
I know, and then you're tempting fate, aren't you?
I did a game at in Manchester City's stadium and last year, and it was when I was commentating on my own.
Yeah.
There's a replay of that incident, and nicely down there, and it was a phenomenal game, really good game, and there was a centre forward who was all over the place, absolutely superb. And there was a keeper similar to Charlie Bolt who was really out there all the time. Defence wasn't very strong. The goalie kept them in it. So 5 minutes to go. It's 1-0, and he pulled save off after save. This centre forward was getting so frustrated. Nothing was going his way. So I gave the goalkeeper the man of the match. Final score was 4-1 to the other team. That centre forward had scored a hat-trick. He'd scored as soon as I'd awarded the man of the match. He scored a goal to take it to extra time. Then he scored 2 more in extra time.
Are you serious?
And I actually gave him a man of the match as well afterwards, because it was like, well, you know what? You know, he's actually just done it, and that is always the danger of doing it.
You should have been forced to take it back off the one you'd given it to and said, I'm sorry, I can't give it to you anymore.
Well, there wasn't a PlayStation on it, so it wasn't as much pressure. Here's a chance for Fido. Fido just running out of space there. But yeah, there wasn't any major prize on it. It was just the nomination.
Hits it first time.
Shoot coming in there on the edge. Devitt.
No, and I think, you know, I've mentioned her many times, Francesca Patchett at the back there, number 9. I think she's done brilliantly in the middle of the defence. You know, ultimately they've conceded only 2 goals. You know, to concede only 2 goals, and her colleagues around her, I think they've done very, very well to keep it at that level. When you consider the possession that Stanley Park have had, when you consider that the players they've got in their lineup, the season they've had, not to patronise them at all, you know, but just to say that, you know, they can hold their heads high. They've done brilliantly, as I know will be mentioned down there pitch side at the end.
Yeah.
Done brilliantly, and you will as well, to the coaches. You know, amazing season. Today just wasn't their day.
Yeah.
They did need to take it up much further forward, take the emphasis to this very, very good side.
I don't think I was saying that in the interview because they might tell me where to go. They can watch that on the YouTube video afterwards. Like, coming from you, that's fair enough. But yeah, they have had a great season.
No, but huge credit to them for the season they've had, and I know you'll mention that. That's my point.
No, definitely keep it positive, and they have had a great season. And they've just come up against an absolute class act in Stanley Park. And just see here how they're defending again. Yeah. If you look at the fullback coming in, you know, like, she sensed danger. Sultana's just sensed a little bit. Oh, that's a great shot and a goal! What a goal there for Bottisham. The clean sheet is not kept in this final. And now, well, we are in injury time.
Surely not. Surely not.
No way, no, it can't happen, surely.
Amy McLean, was it?
Here we go. This is forward, plays it inside,
It
and
is
it's
there.
McLean,
She
the captain.
just gets drawn in, and then great shot.
What a great goal into the corner.
Well, there's not a sting in the tail after you've just been talking about extra time and goals in extra time, surely.
They haven't had a board up, so we don't know how much injury time there is to play. There has been a couple of little stoppages, so we might see 2 or 3 minutes. And Fido doing very well here. She knows what she's doing. Let's just eat up the clock. Holding on to the ball. You've got to take it off me. Nice skills from Fido. And that's a great ball into the centre. This must be a goal. It is. The match is over. Superb performance, and Fido there feeding. It was Ali Bailey who puts this one in, and she deserves this goal really, but Fido again. And there's Bailey in the middle, completely unmarked. She didn't really, well, I think even I could have put that one in.
Yeah.
Ali Bailey takes
they've linked up well, haven't they? Fido, Bailey, Nevitt.
Yeah.
You know, really good.
And you know, I think there's no doubt Stanley Park really are the deserved winners here. They've, you know, Fido was literally just holding on to the ball and then just realised there was a chance to get it in for Bailey, and well, a couple of late goals. Let's just add a bit of spice. We're going to have a substitution. This is very late. Number 15 for Bottisham is Anna Botham.
Oh, it's nice to get her run out.
Yeah. Well, it's only going to be a matter of seconds, I think, by the looks of it. It's number, who's that coming off? Is that the number 4? That, yes, Poppy Bower Mitchell, sorry, Lacey Quintance departs the arena, and we literally do have just seconds, maybe a minute or so to go. We'll all head off into the night and do it all again tomorrow, 9:30 tomorrow morning. John's packing his bag already.
I'm just getting my papers ready, and I'm just looking ahead to tomorrow.
You're very well organised, I've got to say. Thank you for
I don't want to lose all my
that
papers. Well done to the team here, the cameraman and Callum behind the scenes. I mean, they're a superb team that work on this and cover it and broadcast it, and you know, that's why I love doing this job. Professional outfit, as good as I've worked with, and so it's nice. So it makes it very enjoyable as a team and a group of us that put this out there. I know PlayStation are very proud of the way in which it's broadcast out there. I know that we look forward to having the highlights. Here she is again.
She scored again. What a lob! And Bailey scores 2 goals in injury time. Well, she might not be taking the PlayStation 4 home, but she's got bagged 2 goals in injury time here. And, well, like London buses, what is it? We've 2 goals in 89 minutes and then 3 goals in the final 3 minutes. And, or given away by Bottisham. It really... and there we go. Over, well finished by Bailey. Well, tomorrow morning we've got an exciting first match. It's the Under-12 Elite Schools Cup. And the Elite Schools, if John hadn't put his notes away, we'd probably know what the Elite Schools Cup is about. But interestingly, the team that did very well earlier on today, Under-12 level, the Wright Robinson College team, they actually would have got for the hat-trick, but they lost to Northampton School for Boys in the semi-final. So that Wright Robinson A team that we saw with a really talented team, they won 7-0 in the final here, and they just missed out to Northampton. So Northampton Schools for Boys and the Elite Schools Cup is actually no restriction on the number of players that are in the programme for excellence. So gives all the players. Here's another chance for a goal, but Bailey could be looking at an injury time hat-trick here. It's been quite crazy. We seem to have been playing quite a long time, 85 minutes on the clock.
It's a long spell. There's the whistle.
There we go. A deserved victory for Stanley Park High School, and they're all running towards each other for a big celebration. And one of the players has got cramp, so they've all gone over there. They're all going to celebrate and treat her for cramp at the same time. Well, there you go.
Why not?
This is brilliant. Yeah, keep that leg straight. It's got to be straight. Get the pros in. The coaches are coming in to save the day.
Yeah, it's a good place to congregate, isn't it? It's as good a place as any.
And now it's turned into a little bit of a jump up and down. There you go. She's in agony. Yes, I think it comes under the term of injured player at the moment. Yeah, get that leg straight. So the final score here, and well, what a game it's been. And two top teams going head to head. It's Bottisham Village College 1, Stanley Park High School 4 in this final match here on day 1. Let's have a quick look through the goals before we head off into the night.
Well, it was a question mark whether it was Evie Nebbit or Grace Muffet own goal. I think it's clear for us all to see there. Unfortunate Grace Muffet plays the ball. She possibly could have let it go. In hindsight, it's easy, isn't it? She's got to go in there and challenge. She thinks it's going to drop into the path of her. She sort of puts the tackle in and it ricochets in off Evie Nebbit, who, like all great goal scorers, tries to claim it. I would have done exactly the same. And there she is. This is a legitimate one. The keeper fumbles the save in a way. Nice cut back over to the far side. Aren't they? They're outnumbered at the far post. She comes in there. Played that right hand side of midfield role very, very well, I thought. Evie Nebbit. And then, of course, it was a case of could they get back in this game? Well, they did. And it was Amy McLean bursting through. That one opportunity in that back line, I think, pretty much in the game. The glimmer of hope that Bottisham had been hoping for, and here it came. There, look, burst through, great touch, second touch into the space and a finish. And it was the first time that they'd really broken down that phenomenal back four of Stanley Park. They'll have wanted a clean sheet. And there was just the question mark. Could they get back on level terms? And as if to answer that emphatically, in moments later, it's Halle Belly. Really, really good game. Brooke Fido, who'd had an excellent game as well, feeding it in there, and simple task in many ways to finish it off, kept her composure, and she wasn't done even then. Yet again, the ball given away, everybody a bit tired out there, 80 minutes up and more, and here she is. That's a great finish.
Yeah. See this from behind here.
Superb finish, and a great way to end a fantastic season for them. You know, they've been an astonishing team right throughout this campaign, and a lovely way to finish it off. There you go, confirmation. Stanley Park High School 4, Bottisham Village College 1. Under 15 Girls Cup final here at the Majewski Stadium, full time. The champions, and rightly so, Stanley Park.
Okay, well, the officials are just getting their medals. John Scales, been lovely having your company for the day. Thoroughly enjoyable. We'll do it all again tomorrow, and I'm just going to pop down and have a look, chat with the coaches, and we'll just watch the prize giving, the medal ceremony.
Can we have our woman of the match just come and join me for a second, please? Where? Hello there. Fantastic, fantastic work here today. Not only have you won the accolade of being woman of the match, you're all going home with a brand new PlayStation 4 game. So congratulations. Just a little added bonus there for your winner. Well done. Now, we want to give it up, please, for our runners-up at the competition today, the other 15s. Please give it up for Bottisham, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, give it up for what a performance they gave. Well played game of football. It's a good luck to collect their medals. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Someone had to win, but like I keep saying, just look where women's football is. Look where we're playing this great game here at the Majestic Stadium in Reading. The victory in itself, so massive congratulations. Great applause from both sides. Again, that's what it's all about. They're coming together, clapping the hands for both sides. You go for the managers as well, guys. One last time, give it up for him. Bottisham, ladies and gentlemen. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, your champions, the winners of the Under-15 PlayStation Schools Cup Girls Final Match. You know they are. Make some noise for Stanley Park! Number 1, the player of the match, Charlie Bolt. Number 2, Lydia Sultana. Number 4, Lacey Quintans. Number 5, Poppy Bar Mitchell. Number 6, Millie Rowland. Number 7, Tia Sully. Player 8, Evie Nevitt. Player 9, Brooke Vito. Number 10, Hallie Bailey. Number 11, Ella Rawlings. Player 12, Erin Devitt. And number 13, Jessica West. And of course, the team captain, player 3, Morgan Stanley. A little quick through the cup, and then you all got your eye, well, you're way ahead of the game here. Every crowd in the stadium is ready. Just a couple of seconds, the celebrations are about to officially begin. We'll get this box moved out of the way. And for the final time here today at the Majestic, give it up for your champions! Stanley Park! Congratulations, ladies, you deserve it! Celebrate, ladies, you deserve it, you guys are well done! And an 18-ball freedom, that's what we like to see, fantastic stuff, ladies.
So Rebecca, the coach here for Stanley Park, what a team you've got. What you've got a good support as well behind you. Just give us your thoughts after this match that we've just seen here today.
Yeah, the girls have worked really hard to get here. Last couple of years we've been really unlucky not to make this final, so they've worked so hard and they did themselves justice today, and they worked so hard on the pitch, and yeah, they're a great group of girls.
Just be careful of the cables, girls. Okay, thanks for that. So one of the things, John Scales, ex-England defender, you know, he's a great centre-half, used to play for Tottenham, Liverpool. He was saying that your defensive lineup was unbelievable. He said it was so well organised. He said it was almost like watching Arsenal in their heyday, the way that, like, you obviously have spent, you know, is it yourself? You know, how does that defence suddenly play like that? Have you spent a lot of time on the training pitch on the defensive side?
Yeah, we do train every week. I mean, most of these girls do play outside of school, so they've got the experience to do so anyway. But they've been playing together as a team for the last 2-3 years, so they kind of work really well together. You know, Morgan and Poppy at the back, and they read each other really well, and you know, they just work so hard. So yeah, no, we train every week, which has really helped, and we've worked on it a little bit, but it's down to them mostly, not me.
Yeah. Well, John did say that if he could, he'd have given a PlayStation to every one of the defence, but he couldn't. Yeah. So yeah. So if there's any consolation defence, you know, you'd have had one each if it was up to him. Like, you did come up against a team who scored 55 goals in 6 matches. That's a lot of goals. And to only concede the one right at the very end is absolute testament to how good your team is at the back, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously did a bit of our research and saw that one of their players, Amy, scores 190 goals in a year, I think. So we were definitely aware of that, and that's what we've been working on in training as well. So yeah, I mean, credit to the other team; they were fantastic as well, especially their 2 strikers. You know, we had to really pull it out of the bag today. But yeah, no, they've done really well. Yeah.
Well, the girls have done you proud. It's been a fantastic season. You've just won an event which, you know, had over 500 teams in it. So, you know, not many championships you win that. So certainly enjoy it tonight, and well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.